Hey everybody, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Orro Reports. Say, do you guys know what's another cool animal out there? Well, to me, other than horses and owls and wolves, today's topic is the Kinkajou. For those who don't know, Kinkajous are tropical rainforest mammals native to South and Central America, and they are related to olingos, coatis, and raccoons, and of course the ringtails. It is the only member of the genus Potos, and is also known as the honey bear. Also to note, Kinkajous are animals that are not closely related to any other tree-dwelling mammal groups like primates. Plus, they may live up to 40 years in captivity. Now, believe me when I say that I've actually known about the Kinkajou ever since I played one of the Putt-Putt CD-ROM games when I was a little kid. Plus, I did a science report and made an origami sculpture of a Kinkajou during my junior high age. Sadly, while Kinkajous are no stranger to animal documentaries, they sadly have not been shown in any movies at all. Until several weeks ago, thanks to Netflix, Sony Pictures Animation, and Lin-Manuel Miranda. And of course, that movie is the subject of my blog today. So, released to Netflix on August 6, 2021, the movie is Vivo. The movie follows Vivo, a one-of-a-kind Kinkajou who spends his days playing music to the crowds in a lively square in Cuba with his beloved owner Andres. Though they may not speak the same language, Vivo and Andres are the perfect duo through their common love of music. But when tragedy strikes shortly after Andreas receives a letter from the famous Marta Sandoval inviting her old partner to her farewell concert with the hope of reconnecting, it is up to Vivo to deliver a message that Andreas never could. A love letter to Marta written a long time ago in the form of a song. Yet, in order to get to Marta, Vivo will need the help of Gabi, an energetic tween who bounces to the beat of her own offbeat drum to fulfill his owner's wishes. So, what are my thoughts on the movie? Well, next to Spirit Untamed, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and Luca, this has got to be one of my favorite animated movies of 2021. But to further explain why I love this movie, let's move on to Mustang notes. Now, firstly, this was the second Lin-Manuel Miranda movie of 2021, the first being In the Heights. The movie's origins trace back to 2010, when DreamWorks Animation approached Lin-Manuel Miranda about the pitch of the film following the success of his stage musical In the Heights. Due to a restructuring in 2015, DreamWorks eventually dropped the project. On December 14, 2016, Sony Pictures Animation acquired the project from DreamWorks and fast-tracked it under the name Vivo, which was based on an original idea by Peter Barsoccini, with Kirk D'Amico directing, Lisa Stewart producing, Lawrence Mark executive producing, and Quaria Allegria Hughes writing the screenplay. On June 12, 2019, Christine Belson announced at the 2019 Annecy International Animated Film Festival that Rich Moore would join the film as co-producer of the film, with Roger Deakins serving as the film's visual consultant. The 2D animation was handled by James Baxter, who you may remember for animating Ariel in The Little Mermaid, Belle in Beauty and the Beast, Rafiki in The Lion King, Quasimodo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and several DreamWorks characters like Moses in The Prince of Egypt and Spirit in Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, where the main animation was handled by Sony Pictures Imageworks. Now, in my opinion, this style of CGI puts Sony's past works like Surf's Up and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs to shame. But on the other hand, I think it's equally as great as Hotel Transylvania, Into the Spider-Verse, and The Mitchells vs. the Machines. The CGI animation does great at highlighting locations like Cuba and Florida. Speaking of which, While I have been to Florida 3 times in my life, I've sadly never been to Key West, the Everglades National Park, or Miami. The only place in Florida that I ever visited was Orlando. Anyway, I also like that this movie features a few rare animals like the roseate spoonbills and the Burmese python. Plus, I think the animation gives a lot of flair during a few of the song numbers, and I think the hand-drawn animation during 2 of said songs is really beautiful. Speaking of songs, while I'm not really the biggest fan of rap music due to it being not only fast-paced and difficult to follow along with, but it can also be kind of dirty and raunchy sometimes, but still, I think Lin-Manuel Miranda's style of songwriting is really amazing and really catchy to listen to. And to me, the songs that he's written for this movie make me want to get up and dance the night away, while a couple other songs make me want to cry. Some of my favorite songs in this movie include the opening song, One of a Kind, Keep the Beat, Love's Gonna Pick You Up, Running Out of Time, and of course the main song, Inside Your Heart. And that's basically all I got from Mustang Notes, so let's move on to the characters and the voice actors. The title character Vivo is voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who not only created In the Heights and Hamilton, but he also acted in Mary Poppins Returns, and he co-wrote the songs for 2016's Moana. Plus, Lin will soon be directing Netflix's Tick Tick Boom movie, as well as providing songs for the upcoming Disney movie Encanto this November, and he'll be teaming up with Alan Menken for the Little Mermaid remake during the May of the Endgame year. Now to me, Vivo is a very skilled and loyal character. Plus, he's capable of thinking quickly in difficult situations. However, Vivo can also be a bit skittish at times, being startled easily and not being very fond of the loud music. Also to note, I thought Vivo's backstory of when he met Andreas when he was a baby was not only surprising, but it was also very touching. Next is Vivo's deceased owner, Andreas Hernandez, voiced by Juan de Marcos Gonzalez, best known for his work with the Buena Vista Social Club. In my eyes, Andreas is a kind-hearted and polite man, and I like that he and Vivo play their music in order to make people happy. However, I did feel very heartbroken when Andreas died in his sleep. And I thought the song that he wrote for his former partner, Marta, which was called Inside Your Heart, is really beautiful. And I like that it was Andreas' way of telling Marta how much he loved her. Plus, I just love Andreas' Mambo Cabana song. And at the same time, I just hope that I can soon find someone to share a relationship with myself before my life ends. Next we have Gabi, voiced by newcomer Yanarali Simo. Gabi is a young, energetic, rambunctious 10-year-old little girl who happens to be Andreas' grandniece. In my eyes, Gabi is an optimistic, creative, funny, and a helpful character. Plus, I like that she tries to help Vivo deliver Andreas' song to Marta. Also, I think Gabi is an over-the-top rapper, like when she sings My Own Drum, which in my opinion is not only over-the-top, but it is kinda in your face, and it's the kind of song that'll never leave my head no matter how hard I try. Lastly to note, Gabi is pretty relatable due to her losing her father at an early age, and she has trouble communicating with her mom, Rosa. But Gabi chafes against the expectations and rules of others, preferring to improvise and go with her heart. Next up are the Sand Dollar Girl Scouts, Becky, Ava, and Sarah, voiced by Katie Lowe's, Olivia Trujillo, and Lydia Joette. These girls are a troop of young environmental Girl Scouts who make it their mission to educate people about various topics, including endangered species and climate change. In my eyes, these girls kind of remind me of the Sugar Rush racers from Wreck-It Ralph. Also, they kind of start out as stalking antagonists due to them not getting along with Gabi and chasing her due to them showing an interest in Vivo. But on the other hand, I like when they help Gabi and Vivo get to Miami by boat. Finally, we come to Marta Sandoval, voiced by Gloria Estefan, who's best known for being in Wes Craven's Music of the Heart and for performing 1985's Conga Song. When Marta was young, she and Andreas made beautiful music together, but while he fell in love with her, he never really confessed his feelings for her out of fear that it would jeopardize her future. But during the beginning of the movie, Marta is about to retire, and she invites Andreas to her last show in hopes that they can finally reconnect after losing touch decades ago. Sadly, Marta becomes heartbroken and refuses to go on stage after finding out about Andreas' death. Thankfully, Marta is revitalized after Vivo delivers Andreas' song to her. Other voices in the movie include Zoe Saldana, Brian Tyree Henry, Nicole Byer, and Michael Rooker. And now let's move on my final words. Overall, Vivo is such an outstanding animated movie, and I just love all the remarkable and hard work that Lin-Manuel Miranda put into voice acting and songwriting for this movie. Also, the CGI animation is absolutely amazing, and I think the characters like Vivo, Andreas, Gabi, and Marta are very memorable. Plus, I thought the story was very adventurous, fun, and romantic. And this is definitely a must-watch for the whole family. Though, I just hope that it gets a home media release soon. But in the meantime, gather your friends and your family and tune into Netflix to watch this animated musical movie. And trust me, this film is making me very excited to see Encanto in theaters in the next 2 months. As for my rating, I'll give Vivo a full rating of 100%. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me nearing the beginning of fall after I turn 31, where we return to the 100-acre wood. Mustang power!